Hey guys, this is Austin, and we just bought every console from GameStop, and it only cost us $1,283. Dude, what do they pack these things with? So shall we begin with the oldest, which was our DSi, and it cost us $49.99. I didn't realize it was going to be pink, but that's fine.
I'm okay with that.
Next we have our 3DS XL, which was a pretty hefty $100. Okay, well screens are a little dirty. I think we could clean that up. Now the Switch was actually probably the worst deal we got here. This was $280. Well, technically the MSRP on all Switches is still $300. However, of course you've got the Switch Lite at $200, and the fact that the red box Switch, which we did do a full video on, got so much more battery life for, again, $300 means that there's zero chance that this is going to be worth it, even if it's completely perfect. You know what? This Switch has a screen protector. Moving back a few years, we have our Wii U, which is $110. That's not in great shape. There's a lot of scratches on that screen. Okay. I mean, that's not good. Moving on, we have the OG Wii, which is a cool $70. So this is the later model Wii that does not support the GameCube. We should have checked for that. That kind of sucks. I mean, that was one of my favorite parts of the Wii, is that you actually could so easily play those GameCube games. Well, so much for our super cool Wii. Next up, we have our $100 PlayStation 3. Now, I believe that this is the 80 gig slim model. Oh, never mind. This is the fat PS3. Next up, we have the PS4, which costs a whopping $220. We have easy access to the hard drive still. Next, let's get into some Xboxes, shall we? So apparently we bought a 4 gig Xbox 360 Slim for $69.99. So as you can very clearly see, no hard drive. I actually wonder, how much do you think a 360 hard drive would cost these days? Probably not that bad, huh? At $160, we have the original Xbox One. We've got a day one controller here. That's pretty cool. So this is a launch Xbox One. The first thing I'll say about this, and I don't know what's going on here, this is all matte. Like the entire console. There's no glossy plastic right here. There's no glossy plastic here. Is this a D brand? So let's put these consoles to the test. Now starting out with, we have the Xbox 360. Now like I mentioned earlier, you do have to keep in mind that with a 4 gig console, some games won't work. However, Rise of the Tomb Raider shouldn't require any kind of install. There we go. All right, I mean, seems fine to me. All right, so the real question here is, did we get a good deal? I'm almost positive that is not the case. So this was $70, I believe, right? Now if we jump on eBay here, $35, buy it now, free shipping. Or $40 with a 250 gig hard drive. Yeah, we got ripped. Next up, let's give our day one Xbox One a try. So I'm gonna throw a disc in here. This is a Titanfall 2 because it's the only Xbox One disc I have. Oh, did you hear that noise? Wait, this disk drive works, right? It's not showing any games. Okay, well, not looking too hot for the Xbox One. How much do we pay for this thing? $160. What's this gonna run on eBay? $134 for a S model, which is much nicer than this. We can get an original for $120.
Thumbs down.
Hard thumbs down on the Xbox One. Yikes. I can't believe the disc drive doesn't work. Now it's time to take a look at our PlayStations, and first up is our fat PS3. Now these are not the most reliable consoles in the world, but if you're able to get one in decent condition, and especially considering that this does have the backwards compatibility, I mean, you gotta hope you get lucky. Whoa, what? Oh, it just died.
Whoa.
What?
Wow.
I got into the game for 2 seconds.
Wow.
What does the blinking red light mean? It just...
Overheating.
Oh, dude, are you serious? The system will restart, check the file system, and then restore it if it is corrupted. If the file system is corrupted, it will take 2 to 3 hours to complete. This is not a great first experience. There we go. Oh!
No.
Oh, dude, down.
Okay. Wow.
Okay, that's not gonna work at all. It literally, that was like even less time than last time.
Yeah.
Great. So, theoretically, I can open this thing up and find out what's going on, but realistically, if someone buys this, I mean, you're not gonna be happy. You spent How much did we buy this thing for again? $100. On eBay, I'm seeing it for $100, $125. There are a few that are bid up to $140, $150. This actually is a pretty good deal. This is a weird one because if we're able to get this fixed, if we're able to keep it from overheating, we actually saved money by buying it at GameStop. But this is a huge risk. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but they said that we were getting a slim and they gave us a fat. So I don't even know if we were necessarily supposed to get this specific model.
PS3s, we have 80 gigs, 160, 320, 250 gigs.
Okay, and those are all the slim models, right?
Yes.
Let's see how the PS4 goes.
The odds right now are that this PS4 is probably broken too.
No, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I can't even put the game in right now.
Shove it in.
What is wrong with these? I don't even care if this works right now. I think it just ate my disc. We have a disc light though.
Oh boy, okay.
These are all the consoles exactly the way they come. We haven't done anything to these. What is going on? I don't actually know if this disc is gonna work anymore.
Just help it. Take it out of its misery.
Okay. Verdict, what do you think?
It could be scratched. Oh, what's that look? Oh, what?
Let me try to clean this up and get it back in. Oh,
Yeah.
it immediately works. The disc wasn't that dirty before. It definitely was not that dirty.
It's doing something.
So actually, come take a look. Do you see, now that I look at it a little closer, do you see a little white speck here? There's actually like some dirt or some grime or whatever on the side of the little the loading bay. I bet that the actual disk drive, there's just a little bit of like dirt or something on there. And as it's pulling the disc in, it was rubbing that dirt across the disc and spinning it and it smeared it all over the bottom. That's why I was able to wipe it off and it worked.
Great. Whatever's on the front is now all over the inside.
Oh, you're right, all that just got pulled in. All right, next up we have the Nintendo Switch. Now we've already been over this is a poor value. At only $30 less than a brand new red box Switch, there's no way this makes sense. Although, what does the original Switch go for? We're looking at probably about $240, $250 generally speaking. That's not bad. Okay, so I mean, touchscreen seems fine. Do you think, wait, doesn't the newer Pokemon games have like some censoring so you can't name your rival like certain words? Oh, it's Dick Bag. Excellent. Look, I'm still 6, okay? It's fine. Next up, we've got the Wii U. Now, hopefully this is just paired. I haven't used a Wii U in a while.
Well, we can't blame GameStop on that, can we?
It's fine. Here's the test. Is this disk drive functional? Oh, look at that. Smooth, simple, clean. 720p.
Still no nipples.
Still no nipples. So, we spent $110 on this Wii U, which I think is a pretty decent deal. And yes, it is. So taking a look at eBay, for example, there's a lot of 110 to 120. Now, this is actually probably the best console we picked up. It's not in the greatest cosmetic shape, but that's actually a completely reasonable price. Okay, we have a functioning Wii. So obviously this is not the Wii that you want. You will most likely want the one with GameCube compatibility. However, let's see if it can actually play a game. What Wii games do we have? Oh yeah, we bought the stupid Star Wars game.
Stupid Star Wars.
Come on, it's a Star Wars game for the Wii. It's not gonna be good. Yeah! Yeah! There we go. This is how you're supposed to use the Wii. Who said the Wii wasn't any fun? So the Wii cost us $69.
Nice.
$45 will get us a fully functioning original Wii, which again has GameCube compatibility, much better than this one. Shall we get into the portable consoles now?
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with the Nintendo DSi in this excellent shade of pink. Now, I actually really like the DSi. This was definitely my favorite of the DS consoles, and I happen to have the greatest Pokemon game of all time to try. Heart Gold. Sorry, you can play Nintendogs later.
Oh.
Why do I have a Charmander? What? How do I have a Charmander? So we paid $50 for this DSi, which I think might not be the worst deal in the world. Oh wait, I lied. I just found a $26 pink DSi on eBay. Oh. Alright, not that bad of a deal. Let's try the 3DS, because that one was actually properly expensive. Oh yeah. No, this is totally fine. Okay, I think it is safe to say that our 3DS works. Now, this was expensive. I think it was actually quite expensive at a whopping $99.99. 70, 80 bucks? I mean, it's definitely not a good deal, but that's actually not totally crazy. So we've learned a lot today, but the last and most important test is still to come. What happens when we bring these consoles back to GameStop and trade them in? Although now that most of them are not working, we're probably not gonna come out particularly well on this one.
It's actually kind of funny because when we first went to GameStop to try to buy all of these consoles, they didn't even want to sell it to us. I guess they found us suspicious.
So for a person this size,
Yeah.
I just contacted my store leader.
Yeah.
And we can't do it as of right now because I need the district leader's approval. And
Okay.
everyone's on conference right now in Nashville.
I mean, to be fair, we've waited 2 weeks so that we're outside of the return policy purely because we're not trying to scam GameStop. We legitimately want to sell them these consoles.
Yeah, we're basically giving them free money, which they need because, well, time's ticking. They're not going to last that long.
Ken Savage Bolito.
Say, I'm not wrong.
All right, so we have successfully sold all but one of our consoles back to GameStop. So the only one they didn't take was the PS3, and weirdly enough, it wasn't even for the issue we had. It was because they said that the HDMI port was corroded.
HDMI was corroded, and I could visibly see it.
So this seems like a lot of money, right? Well, shall we see exactly what we were able to get? 341, 342, 343, 344, 345, 346, 347, 348. And our grand total is $349 after we spent $1,283 purchasing the console. What's the moral of the story for this video? I'm not quite sure, besides we make very poor investment decisions.
Yeah, we're not going to survive either.
GameStop's gonna have to rescue us next.
Not if they're dead.